This is from the Bleacher Report. They predicted every NFL's division standings for 2023. For the AFC North, they had the Bengals at 12-5 winning the division. They have the Ravens finishing second, a game behind at 11-6. Steelers, they say, are going to be above 500 again, 9-8, finishing third. And they have the Browns, same record as a year ago, 7-10. The rationale, every year about this time, there are predictions that this will be the year that the Browns put things together and make a postseason run. Deshaun Watson looked awfully good, looked mostly awful in limited action last year, and it's the Browns. Something is going to go wrong. Jeff, I think you and I have talked about this. That's
analysis. I mean, man, there's some analysis for you, right?
It's lazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's lazy.
It's
incredibly lazy.
You're not going to talk about the fact that they added not one but two defensive ends, not one but two safeties. Added one of the best tackles on the free agent market at defensive tackles. Brought in a player like Elijah Moore. And with the way that trade worked out, brought in another wide receiver in Cedric Tillman. You brought in yet another athletic tight end. You brought back the center who was fantastic for you last year that just came kind of on out of nowhere. I mean, you just can't write words and hit send. I mean, stuff like it's just frustrating. It really is. You know, there's not one thing there other than the fact that you thought he looked awful. And yeah, there were times he looked awful last year. Absolutely. You know, yeah. And, you know, part of it, well, he played it, Christmas Eve. It was, -15 in Cleveland? He didn't have a great game. Stunner. Absolutely blows my mind that a guy could not find a way to throw a football successfully in -15-degree weather about 3 miles from a lake. That is, I mean, come on. It's Cleveland. Something's going to happen.
All right.
There you go, man. I mean, we talked about this last week, and I guess somebody decided that, top shelf analysis. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So to back that up, I thought this would be interesting. So this is from ESPN.com. Biggest position battles for all 32 teams. So for the Browns, they're looking at the number 4 wide receiver. Cedric Tillman, Jakeem Grant coming back from Achilles surgery, David Bell, Anthony Schwartz, Jalen Darden are among those vying for the spot. So that's the most intriguing battle, according to ESPN. For the Ravens, they're talking about their starting left guard. For the Bengals, their starting right tackle. For the Steelers, their starting left tackle. So when you do this analysis and you're talking about position battles, and the biggest position battle you got for a team is their number 4 wide receiver, and everybody else in the division you're worried about a starting offensive lineman, I'm not sure how that equates to being under 500 and 7-10. There's an imbalance there.
Well, let's see. For Pittsburgh, their number 1 question is the guy who's responsible for Myles Garrett. Okay. So Cincinnati, their biggest question mark is the guy who could be responsible for Myles Garrett, or Zadarius Smith, or Ogmenaya Okoronkwo. For the Ravens, their biggest question mark could be the guy who's responsible for Dalvin Tomlinson, or God forbid Siani Ika, who's 350, and 2 guys could not move him off his spot in a short yardage situation Thursday night in the Hall of Fame game. I get it, and there's so much dead period, and content still has to be produced. You have to satisfy advertisers. You have to satisfy the people who are paying you. But now's the guys, we've got footage. We've got things to talk about. We have things to go off of. We're off of cruise control content mode. It's time to start putting legitimate stuff back out there, as opposed to the fact it's Cleveland, something will always happen.